One of the 20th century's most controversial, darkest figures. At first, he was an ordinary soldier. Then he became a dictator, then a symbol of war, and finally, a destroyer. This is the story of one man's rise and fall. He was born in 1889 in Braunau am Inn, Austria. His father was a stern, authoritarian man. He had a deep bond with his mother. In 1895, he moved with his family to Leonding near Linz, where he started secondary school. His father, Adolf Hitler, wanted his son to become a civil servant, such as a customs officer, but Adolf was interested in history and painting. After his father died in 1903, Adolf Hitler's grades worsened. In 1905, he left the school due to failure. In 1907, he applied twice to the Vienna Academy of Fine Arts and was rejected. This rejection was a major turning point in Hitler's life. With the death of his mother in 1907, he was completely devastated and wandered homeless and unemployed in Vienna for a while. This rejection fueled a growing frustration and a terrifying rage inside him. In 1914, at the outbreak of the First World War, he volunteered for Germany. At the age of 25, he was drafted into the Bavarian army. Hitler's mission: to be a messenger at the front. His rank remained corporal throughout the war. In 1918, he was temporarily blinded by a British mustard gas attack and hospitalized. He was deeply shaken by Germany's surrender at the end of the war. Hitler began to see this defeat as a stab in the back and blamed Jews, communists, and liberal elites. In the 1920s, he joined the German Workers' Party, which he soon transformed into the National Socialist German Workers' Party. In 1923, he carried out a failed coup attempt, the Munich Putsch, but clashes with the Bavarian police resulted in the deaths of 16 Nazis and 4 policemen. Hitler escaped, but was captured 2 days later, arrested and imprisoned. Hitler was sentenced to 5 years in prison, but he was only in prison for 9 months. In his book, Mein Kampf, My Fight, which he wrote while in prison, he explained his ideology in detail, and we can say that his political rise started exactly here. On January 30th, 1933, President Paul von Hindenburg appointed him chancellor. On July 4th, 1933, all parties were dissolved and the dictatorship officially began. The famous Gestapo secret police was established. On August 2nd, 1934, with the death of President Hindenburg, Hitler took the title of Führer leader, combining the presidency and chancellorship. Let's look at Hitler's dream and the reaction of German politicians to it.
Und nennt Finnland, Lettland, Litauen, Estland, Norwegen, Schweden, Dänemark, Niederlande, Belgien, Irland, Frankreich, Portugal, Spanien, die Schweiz, Liechtenstein, Luxemburg, Polen, Ungarn, Rumänien, Jugoslawien, Russland, Bulgarien, Türkei, Irak, Arabien, Syrien, Palästina, Ägypten.
In 1939, Germany invaded Poland, starting World War II. 2 days later, on September 3rd, Britain and France declared war on Germany. From 1939 to 1941, Hitler controlled almost all of Western Europe within a year. However, in 1941, it changed the course of the war to its own detriment when it declared war on the Soviet Union and the United States. From 1942 onwards, the comeback began. The Battle of Stalingrad, 1942-43. Major defeat at the hands of the Soviets, 1943. Italian Front. Allies begin to enter Europe from the south. In 1944, the Allies advanced from the west with the Normandy landings. In the east, the Soviet Red Army was marching towards Berlin. Hitler no longer came out of his bunker. The leadership was unraveling. Germany was suffering heavy defeats. April 30th, 1945. One day after Hitler married Eva Braun in the Führer bunker by shooting himself, Eva Braun committed suicide by drinking cyanide. Their bodies were cremated and burned to prevent Hitler's body from being recovered. The remains, the ashes, were specifically taken by the Soviets. On May 8, 1945, Germany formally surrendered. The totalitarian regime established by Hitler led to millions of deaths and a world war. Germany was devastated. Europe was reshaped. The question to be asked is, how can one man transform a nation so much? If you have dictators in the countries you're in, pay attention to the dictators. History is obvious that a nation was almost destroyed. As History of Nations, we will continue to tell the untold history and the truth. Subscribe for such videos. Don't forget to comment. Thanks.